Hi guys, I'm Bilal from Peak Adventures UK. Inshallah will be my team that will be leading you up the trek in your upcoming challenge. There are a few things to always think about prior to the challenge, firstly your own personal fitness. So it's important that you keep yourself active. Walking is really important, especially if you get somewhere that's a little bit hilly. Try to stay away from the paths and pavements. If you walk on just rougher terrain, where it's unstable, where it's not flat, where it's uneven, it will just help your ankles strengthen the ligaments, because when you're walking on a mountain, it's not a pavement you're walking on. It's going to be quite rocky, quite bouldery, very uneven. So really important you get your ankles prepared for it. Your own personal fitness, if you can do 30 minutes sessions of some form of high speed walking or jogging or something twice a week, then that will have your fitness right up there. If you can't, you're going a bit slowly, that's fine. You do your own challenge. We always have a cut-off point. I don't want anyone on the mountain for longer than 7 hours. Just from there has to be a cut-off point. There has to be an end. So 7 hours is what we've agreed, which is it's a reasonable amount of time on the mountain. And if you don't make it up and down in 7 hours, so cut off would be like 3.5 hours, then you need to come back down. If you don't make it to the top, then you know where your fitness is at, inshallah next time your fitness will be a bit better and you will be able to make it to the summit. You just need to get that training in. Now, with regards to the kit, I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. Firstly, the boots. So I would recommend something like these. These are Bracer Super Lights. It doesn't have to be these, but just a leather pair of boots with ankle support. What this does is that it comes in two sections, really, if you think about it, the lacing anyway. This area is across your metatarsal, and this just keeps your foot slightly snug. And then this area up here, the ankle support, when coming down, is really important for two reasons. Firstly, like I said, the ground is uneven. You might step on a boulder that's a little bit loose, and you might go over your ankle. So with this tight, what that will do is just keep your ankle tight and won't allow your ankle to spring, won't allow it to twist. So it just gives you that little bit of support. The second thing is, when it's done tight up here and your heel is right at the back here, in the front there should be a little bit of space for your toes. When you're coming down, if this is not tight, what happens is your toes will end up cramming into the front of the boot. By the time you get down, your toes are going to be in a lot of agony, a lot of pain. I do recommend leather because it's always more waterproof, and on these mountains, in the UK, always expect rain. Always expect rain. You just don't know what's going to happen. So that's the boots. Next, pair of socks. These are Bridgedale socks, medium weight, perfect for these kind of conditions. Bridgedale. I really recommend this brand. It's just a good, comfortable sock. Offers you protection and cushioning, and also because it's wool, it wicks as well. It's merino wool. It wicks off the sweat, so your feet don't get nasty, don't get stinky. Keeps you a bit fresher. Next, trousers. These are Montaigne's Nova pant. Now, I wouldn't recommend something like this necessarily, but Craghoppers do a good pair of trousers for about £30, £35, the Kiwi. I would also avoid the Craghopper. Also do one with fleece liner. So unless you're doing this trek in the winter, I would avoid the fleece liner. Your feet will just get too hot and you get uncomfortable because of the heat will get a bit too much. But or even tracksuit bottoms. As long as it's not cotton, then inshallah it should be fine. As long as it's not cotton and it's comfortable, you should be fine inshallah. Cotton is a big no-no on the mountains, even for socks. Avoid cotton. It does two things. It absorbs the moisture from the air and keeps it on your body, which takes away the heat from your body. Because as soon as the wind touches it, it just cools it, and your body's struggling to try to keep the heat up, and you just end up losing heat from your body. The second thing it does is that when you sweat, it holds the sweat. Again, comfort, taking away heat from your body. So avoid cotton. Everything else kind of wicks the moisture away from your body and keeps you drier, keeps you fresher, keeps you more comfortable. And if you're comfortable, you get to enjoy the experience, inshallah. Next, again, underwear, I would avoid cottons again. And then this is my base layer, old and trusted, had this for, 8 years or so, 6 years. It's battered, but I love it. This is a merino wool base layer. Or you could just get yourself like a football type t-shirt and just wear that. You get what the footballers wear underneath the t-shirt, the long sleeves. So if you're expecting cold weather, maybe get one of them on underneath. The good things about these is that again it wicks the moisture off your body and keeps you dry. So typically that's how I'll be starting my trip. That's what I'll be wearing when I start my trip. Now for you guys, a bag like this should be more than enough. This is a 24 litre bag. So I would recommend something between 20 and 25 litre for you guys, because you're not going to be carrying that much weight. Now, what will you be carrying? You'll be carrying a couple of these, so you need about 2 litres of water for the day. I normally tend to get away with 1.5 litres, but if it's a really, really hot day, then you will need the 2 litres. So 2 litres of water, fantastic. Give me a second. Right. I keep all my stuff in one of these. It's called the dry sack. So most backpacks will come with a rainproof cover. I don't think they're that great. I don't like them. I prefer one of these. You put everything in here and this will just keep everything dry. If the bag gets wet, I don't care, it's okay, because I know everything inside it is going to stay dry. Now what do I have inside here? Waterproof jacket. I mean, this is a slightly expensive one, it's like 80, 90 pounds. You don't need anything this expensive. I know a lot of you are going to be spending a lot of money in getting your kit for the first time. Honestly, I would get a £15 waterproof jacket, non-breathable. This is breathable, this is why it's expensive. But you can get the non-breathable ones as well. Let me show you something quickly. So with this, the great thing is that I can just tuck it in. And that's the size of it there. You can see how small that is, yeah? So it really packs really nicely. But again, go for the £15 one from Go Outdoors or Decathlon or anywhere else, and you'll be fine. It's not breathable, but that's okay, it's not a big problem. Right, next. Micro fleece. So a micro fleece is a fleece, I mean you can see the fleece on the inside, and it's the zip goes down 1/4 of the way, or 1/3 of the way. So the zip comes down to here, and that's it. So it's like a pullover. If when it gets a wee bit nippy, you put this on, it'll just keep you a little bit warmer, especially, I mean, hopefully the weather isn't going to be too bad, but if it isn't a bit nippy, especially at the top, the higher up you go, the lower the temperature gets, and there's a bit of wind, it will get a bit nippy. So you put this on, it'll keep you warm. You can get, this is a slightly expensive one, you can get cheap ones from Go Outdoors or from Decathlon, anywhere else, for under £10. One of these for under £10, just a micro fleece, 1/4 zip, micro fleece, under £10, Bob's your uncle. It'll keep you warm and it'll keep you comfortable, and you can wear it even in the winter or whatever, so it doesn't have to be just for this trek. Again, I wouldn't spend, it's not something which I would invest too much in. Out of all the gear that I've showed you, the thing that I would spend money on, these. Put your money in a good pair of boots, and they'll just, your feet are the most important thing whilst you're on the mountain. This is a micro down jacket. You can pick these up for, I mean, you can get quite cheap ones again from Decathlon for like £20 or so. Summertime, you won't really need it. If you're autumn, spring, you might need it when temperatures are like 5 degrees, 6 degrees at the top. So you'll have the micro fleece, and then you'll have this on top just to keep you a little bit warmer. But again, we do the layering on the mountains. So I'll start with the base layer, I'm wearing that. It gets a bit cold, I put the micro fleece on. If I'm at the summit and it's even colder, I'll put the micro down on. If it's windy, really windy, they'll even put my waterproof jacket on, because that can act as a windbreaker and just keep the wind off you a bit. Also, so it works for the water and it works for the wind, gives you an extra layer of protection. Right, now to the little bits and bobs. So, from your local grocery shop, you can get these little gloves for like £1. My advice is get 3 of these. I will wear one until about 1/3 of the way up. You know, regardless of how, if it gets, it doesn't matter if it gets really badly soaked, until 1/3 of the way up. Once I'm about 1/3 of the way up, then I'll switch it, I'll put on another pair that are dry, just keep my hands nice and dry. Or I might even wait until I get to the summit. And then at the summit, I'll switch them up, get a dry pair on, so my hands are comfortable again, start to get warm again. And then on the way down, as you're going down, you get warmer, you're moving a little bit faster, your body temperature's going up, you feel a bit better. You might not need the 3rd pair, but it's nice to have them there just in case. So I normally go with 2 or 3 pairs, and that works really well. A little beanie hat for winter, autumn, spring. You'll need a beanie hat. In the summer, conditions aren't that bad, I would probably say a baseball cap. works best. It just gives you a bit of shade from the sun. But these can keep you warm. And then this is a neck buff. I mean, this is quite a fancy one. It's a micro fleece neck buff, so it gives me a little bit of warmth, a little bit more warmth. Most neck buffs are at micro fleece, and the standard ones, which makes them good in the summer, because you can put it on in the summer around your neck, just protects you from the sun so you don't get burnt. You're getting high up, you are exposed to the sun. Sunblock is really important, so apply it on before you start the trek, and apply it on during the trek. During the winter, you can just put it over your nose as well. Keep the warm air around you, makes things a bit more comfortable. And almost finished now. The last thing is your first aid kit. Now the first aid kit, really important to have your own one with the plasters, your medication, and blister pads. Blister pads really useful. Also, zinc oxide tape. The advantage of zinc oxide tape is you apply it to the parts of your feet. So around, so imagine this is your foot. These areas here, there, and here at the heel is where you want to put the zinc oxide tape, because that's normally where you get the blisters. So you put them there, and that'll stop you from getting blisters, especially if you haven't worn your boots before. Boots, wear them a good few times before you come on the trek for the first time. You want to break them in. You don't break them in on the trek, they'll break you, and you'll be walking for like 7 hours. Zinc oxide tape, really cool. You just apply it onto it, like I said, these areas here, there, and at the back here of your foot. It'll just protect your feet, inshallah. And that's basically it, guys. If you have any questions, you can DM me on Instagram. It's Peak Adventures UK, so it's at Peak Adventures UK, one word. And then just DM me, and hopefully I'll be able to answer any questions you've got. Inshallah, you have a great day on the mountain, and that you all enjoy yourselves. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.